The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Monday morning, 60 minutes to go until the opening bell. And boy, we got quite a start to the trading week, folks. We get the S&Ps right now down 1.8%. You're down 67 points, trading at 36.39. Folks, that's more than 40 points off of the lows we had made at about 5:40 a.m. this morning. 35.96. I mean, you back things up to where we were last night. The futures open. We sell off pretty quickly. But you back it up even just to Friday for some context here. At about 3:15 p.m. Eastern time, we're trading at about 36.80. The market accelerates all the way into the close and even then some, accelerating higher all the way through till about 5 p.m. Eastern time. You kind of base right at around 3,700 from most of the overnight session until about, you could call it midnight, you could call it really 2 a.m., and then the slide really begins at 4:30 in the morning. You trade from a price level of 36.84. You trade down to 35.96, and as I mentioned, bouncing a bit, but still pretty steep prices right now across the board. You got the NASDAQ, NQs, 12,576. How about trading from a price last night of about 12,760 down to the low, let me get that low, 12,460. 300 points, folks, in no time. Watch out. Dow down more than almost 500 points right now. We've bounced 300 points just in the Dow right now. And the Russell, how about it, off almost 3%. I mean, look at that. We dropped more than 100 points in the Russell for an index that's trading at about 2,000. Quite the move. That's about 5%, folks. Bitcoin holding up relatively well. How about a 24,000 print last night in Bitcoin? Natural gas off about 2 pennies. Crude really trading lower this morning, off about $2. Crude from 49.50 down to below 46.50. Talk about some volatility in the crude market as we market a little bit worried about things opening back up. We'll jump into it in a moment. You have a new strain of the coronavirus over in the UK. That really causing a lockdown over there. Some numbers putting it, and these are all estimates, folks, but either way, it looks to be a lot more contagious than the current strand of COVID. How that plays out in terms of lockdowns, you're seeing it in the UK right now. Harsh lockdowns as this thing's spreading even more than it had been for the prior strain of the virus. And the market kind of, I think, this is my take, right? The market figuring out that, you know what? Now, the news is, and let's just jump to some of the headlines here, okay? We're going to start it off with the UK. So you have their, I believe that's their health secretary. Yes, the UK health secretary, Matt Hancock, talking about the new strain of the virus out of control, suggested parts of England will be stuck in the new highest tier of restrictions until a vaccine rollout. Stay focused on that sentence, folks, because I believe that is one of the things hitting this market the most this morning. There's a lot of fundamental news driving it, and we'll get into it all. But the fact that we may have a new strain of the virus that is spreading more quickly, which will then cause greater restrictions until the vaccine is rolled out. Now, as we jump around here, experts expect the vaccines to protect against the new strain. Okay, so the vaccine should still have an impact. What this is impacting the most is that what the months are going to be like leading up to the vaccination of a worldwide population. And the market, it's getting a little worried that we might have some shutdowns here, more so than we may have had prior to this new strain. More than 16 million Britons now required to stay at home after a lockdown came into force Sunday in London, Southeast England. Government scrapped plans to relax rules on socializing at Christmas. Things just accelerating pretty quickly over there. And the market, I think, a little worried. They're starting to price in that things might accelerate in more than the UK across the board. Johnson had originally planned to ease pandemic rules for 5 days during the holidays. But you deal with the reality you're dealt, folks. And he made an abrupt change of tack after emergency talks on the virus mutation with officials. It's a tough one, folks. You're seeing the market react. We came into today. I sent out a video a couple hours ago now, up early this morning. Lots going on a Monday morning for a holiday-shortened week. We came into today. You're approaching 15% positive for the year, folks. You started off at 32.36. We were at 32.74. You were up almost 500 S&P points. You were up more than 15%. That's the first real pullback. You can see it. We'll zoom it in. Since we started the month of trading in November, you're talking about 2 full months of basically just drifting, higher drifting to all-time record highs on a continual basis when we are met with continual economic news that is not good, to use my best English. Not great financial numbers, folks. You're talking about unemployment. You're talking about retail sales, right? We just got a 1.1% decline for November retail sales last week. Market trades higher. And what we also got is we got some stimulus. So we got a $900 billion pandemic relief plan. Looks like that's going to go to a vote today. That's going to include $600 payments to most individuals under a certain income threshold. I believe it starts at about $80,000, phases out at about $100,000. That will include another $600 for children, $300 per week in enhanced unemployment benefits through March. There would be $284 billion in the Paycheck Protection Program, which provides forgivable loans to small businesses, money for transportation, airlines. We'll jump around. Airlines, cruise ships, they're getting hit hard today on the resurface of a fear and a risk that's always been in the market, but more apparent now as we're seeing harsher lockdowns with the spread of, whether you call it the third, the second wave of COVID across the entire globe. You're talking about money in that bill for the vaccination distribution, schools and universities, food aid, many other provisions. But with that in mind, we come into today on December 21st. We now have what looks like to be the stimulus. We have the election resolved. We have President-elect Biden getting put into office in about a month. Today's December 21st, January 20th, so just shy of a month. If you want any other types of stimulus, folks, you're going to have a new Congress. Okay, so as in what I'm trying to say is, what does the market look to next? The market looks to next is living up to the realities that it's set by being 15% positive in the 2020 year, waiting for the world to reopen in some normal semblance of what we're used to. That's going to take some time. And the market realizing today that you're seeing the harsh realities of the shutdowns in the UK, you might see something similar. This new strain, all but assured that it's not just in the UK and it's in other areas. If it is spreading faster, no indication that it's more deadly, but if it's spreading faster and has the same mortality, you could see cases rise faster than even we anticipated. You could see greater restrictions for the next 3 to 6 months, or 3 to 4 to 5, 6 months until this vaccination is able to be made available across the globe. I mean, quite the escalation. It's going to be quite a market open, folks. Look at this VIX action. I mean, this is really all you got to see. You want to see how much fear is in this market, folks? We went from 22 to almost 32 in a heartbeat. Okay, people, they're teetering. All right, when you see this thing selling off, you see the UK shutting down, you see the S&Ps down 2 to 2.5% overnight, and you see the VIX go from 22 to almost 32 before most of the world even wakes up to start trading at 6 in the morning on Monday morning. You better believe that this thing is a little dicey up here. All things considered, we're down 1.5% right now, folks, but we're trading up. We started the year at 32.36. I mean, how about 412 points in the S&Ps positive for the year, even where we sit at 36.48. Stay tuned, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Tesla when we come back as well.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins, too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has just launched our Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. For a limited time, we've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses, where you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars are good for all TFNN newsletters, webinars, and services and never expire. Whether you're a current subscriber or just thinking of signing up for any TFNN products in the future, this is a great time to get your Tiger Dollars. Happy holidays from all of us at TFNN.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps off 58 points right now. The Dow off 427. All the markets bouncing a bit off the lows we have. Jumping back to the S&Ps real quick. You're a solid 50 points off of the lows we had. Coming up to the highs that we made at about 7 a.m. That high of 36.52. We're trading at about 36.47. Going to be an interesting market open, to say the least. The first day, folks, December 21st, the Tesla, they're going to be contributing to the S&P 500 today to the tune of 1.69%. That's their weighting. Let's pull up the article. I believe it is. Let's make sure. There it is. 1.69%. That's how they'll come into the S&P. Talk about some volatility on Friday. Man, we were all watching the markets. The Tesla, you trade from 675 down to below 630 for a heartbeat. You trade up to 695 right after the close. Folks, keep things in context here. Tesla's trading at $660 this morning. The markets are getting pummeled. This is the first day it's in the S&P 500. And if you take Friday out of the mix, we would be sitting at an all-time high. All-time high, folks, of where we would be. I mean, remarkable. You're talking about the high of 345 is 658.82. We're going to be coming in at basically an all-time high for Tesla if you just take Friday's volatility out of the mix. For some context on the daily, my goodness, right? You back it up to the beginning of the year last year, you're talking about under 100. We're trading at almost 700. We're going to open today at about 660. There we are on the chart. The point being, you have about a 1.7% weighting now in Tesla, and man, this thing might be a little frothy, and you're going to see that potentially weigh on the S&Ps as it might have a healthy pullback. When Facebook got added, they pulled back 10 to 20%, I believe it was, over the next few weeks. You could see that in Tesla only because, folks, you got to think about buying and selling. If you're going to be a purchaser of Tesla, are you really going to be the one buying Tesla today, the day after all of that forced demand came into the market, the day after basically everything we've been waiting for Tesla? They're in the S&P 500. They're a profitable company. They have access to basically free capital, and I say that only in that they are a super reliable company with access to corporate-grade debt of the highest quality. And what is the future? The future is they have to live up to all the expectations, the earnings, the multiples that they have in that stock. And man, What if the whole world was just waiting for it to get added to the S&P 500? I'm a believer in the company, but you might see a little pullback, and you might see it weigh on the S&P, but it might not weigh as much as you think on it. And I'm just going to jump real quick, because when you look at where this company is in terms of the weighting, excuse me. So there's a discussion here in this Bloomberg article that I thought was pretty cool, and to keep things in context, it's still fifth largest company in the S&P 500, but you're still only talking about a 1% weighting, okay? Tesla's historic volatility suggests daily moves of about 4% up or down. That is bananas, to use the scientific term. That is a little wild. When you're talking about a stock that's going to be the fifth largest contributor to the S&P 500, and it has historic volatility of a 4% up or down. Now, being in the S&P 500, this number is going to come down, folks. The historical volatility, Tesla's not going to move like this forever. We're reaching a more clarity about this equity, that it's profitable, it's in the S&P 500, but that would only end up budging the index by about 2 points, folks. Now, yeah, 35 points is 1%, right? That's 2 points. As you can see, there's going to be an impact. The impact, though, it's going to be felt by the market nonetheless. Now, you wanted to talk about what we move to next. How about Elon? He's not going to go quietly into the dust. He's going to stay in the headlines, and he's out there talking about moving large transactions to Bitcoin. Don't put it past him, folks. He's an innovator. He's changing the world, and he was out there on Twitter talking about with, I guess, one of the somebody in the Twitter sphere, Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, a prominent booster of digital currency. Not familiar myself, but he was talking about maybe potentially asking questions like, are such large transactions possible? Talking about maybe putting some of Tesla's money maybe in Bitcoin. Just something interesting. Elon, the king of self-promotion. Not sure what's going on there, if it's even a reality, but nonetheless, he is out there talking Bitcoin. All right. Back to earnings. Nike out with their numbers Friday after the bell. Strong numbers for Nike. Second quarter earnings and sales topping expectations. The sneaker maker reported strong digital growth. In the greater China region, Nike's revenue grew 24% compared to just 1% in North America. I mean, check that out, folks, when you think about the company able to succeed in China. Online sales for Nike brand up 84% during the period. Earnings per share, 78 cents versus 62. How about the revenue? I mean, that's a solid almost 700 million beat. When you were only supposed to take in 10.56 billion, they take in 11.24. Strong numbers across the board. Nike, a very strong company, jumping over to their shares. Now, there's the long term. Talk about a channel line, right? We pulled back on Friday, but you see the bid ask at about 145, folks. The high that we had on Friday was about 141, and here's a look at that action. As we trade higher, we're trading higher again this morning with the market getting pummeled. You got Nike up almost $8 this morning on their earnings after the bell on Friday. What else we got going on? Stocks making moves this morning. So Tesla was the highlight, of course, coming in the S&P 500 today. You have Nike out with their earnings. JP Morgan, check that one out, right? This is JP Morgan, JPM. They're trading higher this morning. They announced a $30 billion stock buyback shortly after the Fed said it would allow banks to restart buybacks during the first quarter of 2021. JP like, we'll take that opportunity. We are a strong bank in a big way, and the strong bank stock reacts. 119 up to 126 to 123. I mean, check out this stock, folks. Talk about the acceleration. We base it about 100 from a period of, I mean, you could call it really all the way back to April. And then, boom, we break out with the market from the beginning of November. You were at 100. You're going to open today at 124. It's a 24% return in a bank when interest rates were marginal, and they're still marginal, folks. Strong in a big way. The other bank I always love to look at, and you got it today, Bank of America. We're up about $1 from 26.87 to 29.44. You put it on a 15-minute. There's the volatility for them as well, and maybe they have a buyback out as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's just loosening the restrictions. You probably have it coming, even if they haven't announced it yet. Bank of America, one of the strongest banks out there, and they got Berkshire behind them, which is always nice. Some of the other equities, Walmart got an upgrade. They're higher this morning with the market getting pummeled from RBC. They feel Walmart's well positioned to handle a range of different economic scenarios in 2021. Yeah, I would say to put it lightly, folks. Walmart well positioned across the board. And you're higher from 146 to 146.35 when you get the markets down almost 2% this morning for Walmart shares. What else we got going on? Let's see. Yeah, Moderna, their vaccine's going to get set to be rolled out today. We'll jump over to their shares. These vaccine stocks, always interesting. Buy the rumor, sell the news, folks. I was talking to a friend not in the market at all, just kind of relaying the buy the rumor, sell the news phenomenon and how it's really playing out right in front of our eyes in many different aspects now. And from 180 to 140 as this Moderna vaccine has basically come to fruition. I believe that 178 day was maybe the day that they announced the efficacy of their vaccine. Nonetheless, pulled back a bit, and be careful of the stock, folks. If you remember, Merck got out of the stock sometime in the middle of this quarter we're currently in, which would put it really in about the $70 to $80 range. Merck cashed out, trading at 150. Stay tuned, folks. S&P's minus by 60. We'll be right back to finish up the show. Stay tuned. Right back.
Back in the day, I joined the Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
you see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P sitting minus 61 points right now. We're 35 minutes from that opening bell. We trade from a price point of 37.24 last night, folks, down to 35.96. You don't usually get 130 S&P points of movement. That means we might get some action on the open. Which way? We're going to find out in 35 minutes. Stay tuned for our man Larry Pesavento coming up next with Trade What You See. Jumping around to some of the other stories out there in terms of what stocks are moving this morning. We'll jump around to some of the FANG stocks real quick. Amazon shares, they are higher up to 32.15. You're kind of seeing the lockdown trade again, folks. You're seeing Zoom trade higher this morning. Check that out, from 406 to 423. You're seeing the market recognize the fears that there's going to be greater restrictions put in place, folks, if this new strain of the virus spreads, as it may possibly beyond the UK. Seems all indications that it would be beyond the UK already. And you have Zoom trading higher. You have the airlines getting smacked down pretty hard. There's American. There's Delta Airlines. The cruise lines getting hit hard. Carnival's get their earnings this week. That should be interesting. Down about $1.50 this morning from 21.46 to 20. On the reverse side of that, you have the opening trades, as we talked about with Zoom. Interesting article out here. I was on a Zoom call with my friends last night. So it's a real deal, folks. I got friends in Boston, New York, a few different cities, I think, beyond that. 6, 7 of us on a Zoom call. Nonetheless, you may see a big day for them, and they're trading higher this morning with lockdowns back coming around. S&P's right now, minus 58 points, and we're going to finish it up, folks, with notes and bonds. Because, yeah, we got some movement, but not quite what you might expect for the VIX going from 22 to almost 32. We're sitting at a 10-year yield of 0.92% right now. You put this on the daily, and, man, we're just chopping around every single time, chopping around in this consolidation area with a low of about 137.08, the high area of that, which we haven't seen in a while, 139.20, and you got the 10-year right now sitting with a yield of 0.92%. And we're going to finish it up with the pound, folks, because, boy, they got their own woes. You got Brexit going on over there, and look at this pound. Look at this day we got going on the pound on a 15-minute. You trade from 135 last night to 131.87. Stay tuned, folks. S&P's minus by 60. Got Larry coming up next. Live programming all day at TFNN. Holiday Christmas. Stay tuned, folks. Larry's up next. We'll be right back.